From TV23 Studios in Sublette, this is High Plains Today.
Hi, everybody. You know what? It is Wednesday, February 28th. Yes, the last day of February this year until we get to a leap year. Anyway, welcome to High Plains Today here on TV23. On today's show, I'm going to be talking with J.C. Winters. She is the Public Relations Manager, Cattle Empire. Big deal. They got a bunch of scholarships coming up that are going to be available. And we're going to talk a little bit about Cattle Empire, but we're going to talk mainly about how you can apply for a scholarship. In the meantime, let's take a look at what's happening. Late last night, a Hodgeman County deputy initiated a traffic stop on US 283. Now, while speaking with the driver, identified as Anibal Rios Baez, the deputy observed illegal contraband in the vehicle. A search was conducted and a large amount of methamphetamine was found. Baez was transported to the Hodgeman County Jail and was charged with distribution of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Bond has been set at $75,000. All right, a few of Pioneer Communications customers have reported receiving phone calls threatening to shut off their services unless they pay $500 immediately. They have instructed the customer to call Pioneer Communications at 888-559-5354. Now, this phone number is already red flagged as a suspicious phone number connected with scammers and not, repeat, not Pioneer Communications. If you receive one of these calls, do not pay it. If you got a question, call the real Pioneer Communications. A Kansas man has been sentenced to more than 20 years in prison for child sex crimes. Kansas Attorney General Derek Schmidt said 25-year-old Kevin Michael Cross from Hill City pleaded guilty earlier this year to one count of aggravated criminal sodomy with a child. Now, the judge ruled to have Cross on lifetime post-release supervision and sex offender registration. Child sex crimes occurred between October and December of 2016. Cross has been previously charged with burglary and criminal damage to property. President Donald Trump yesterday named Topeka native and former digital advisor Brad Parscale as campaign manager for his 2020 re-election campaign. Parscale, who attended Shawnee Heights High School, remained a mainstay in Trump's organization through a tumultuous campaign that saw many staff changes. He joined as a marketing strategist for Trump's private ventures and before shifting to the 2016 campaign as the online marketing director. Now, Parscale began a relationship with Trump and his children back in 2011 through his Texas-based firm when he was asked to build websites that improved the family's holdings, such as Trump Winery and the Eric Trump Foundation. At about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, Liberal firefighters were dispatched for a reported small grass fire near Meadowlark Elementary at 15th and Calvary. Now, arriving units found a rapidly spreading grass fire in an open area northeast of the school. Also responding to the call were units from the Seward County Fire Department. Fire was quickly knocked down and fire units stayed around on the scene for about 30 minutes, extinguishing the remaining hot spots. Now, the fire departments would like to remind citizens that fire danger will remain extremely high during the continued dry conditions and will be increased in periods of moderate to high wind. I don't think we can say that enough. All right, what could be perceived as a preview of the upcoming Democratic gubernatorial forum in Topeka went on in the State House yesterday as candidate Jim Ward denounced rival Laura Kelly for attempting to conceal her support for the National Rifle Association's agenda. Ward, a Wichita lawmaker who serves as Democratic leader in the Kansas House, said Kelly strayed from the majority of Democrats by endorsing legislation eliminating background checks and safety training for people seeking to carry a concealed firearm. Kelly, a state senator from Topeka, said Ward ought to check the facts before shooting from the hip about her voting record. I don't know if there was a pun intended there or not. Ward and Kelly will have an opportunity Saturday from 11:30 to 1 p.m. for dialogue on guns with other declared Democratic Party candidates for the Kansas governor. That's going to be the debate on Saturday, and we plan to carry that debate here on TV23. Kansas Lieutenant Governor Tracy Mann addressed the crowd as he was on hand yesterday when Mid-Kansas Electric Company Incorporated of Hays announced plans for a 20-megawatt solar farm in southwest Kansas. Now, the Johnson Corner Solar Project, which will be in near Johnson, Kansas, will be the largest solar farm in the state and is expected to be completed sometime next year. Well, Wink Hartman has offered use of his Park City Arena to the National Rifle Association after Secretary of State Chris Kobach urged the organization to bring its annual convention to Kansas. Kansas City Star reports that Republican gubernatorial candidate Kobach tweeted over the weekend that he's reached out to the NRA to urge the group to bring the gathering to Kansas. Hartman said yesterday on Twitter, "Today I offered the National Rifle Association the use of Hartman Arena for their national conference and future events. We cannot stand by as the liberal anti-Second Amendment groups mobilize to disarm law-abiding Americans." Now, it wasn't immediately clear if the NRA responded to his offer. And plans to lease a new home for Wichita's B-29, known as Doc, have been approved by the City Council. World War II bomber, which was rebuilt and restored, will have a home inside a 32,000 square foot building the Eisenhower Airport. Doc's Friends, a nonprofit organization that owns the B-29, raised a significant portion of the funds to construct the hangar, but needed city approval to move forward with construction. Doc is currently stored behind Air Capital Flight Line, which is not open to the public. Blueprints released last year showed space for up-close views of the bomber, along with a museum area and retail sales. Airport officials say that the hangar is an opportunity to draw enthusiasts to the area. Yeah, I've seen Doc up close. It's a pretty cool plane. All right, and finally, congrats to the Hugoton Middle School Quiz Bowl teams. The 7th grade Quiz Bowl team finished in first place at Monday's league tournament, and the 8th grade team finished in a 3-way tie for second with a 3-2 record. Good on you, you kids at Hugoton Middle School. All right, let's look at some of the stuff that's happening out there. Yeah, guess what? It's going to be sunshiny, no precipitation coming up real soon. Be back to the weather right after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
Take your internet by the reins. Pioneer Communications offers blazing fast speeds up to 50 meg. Make slow internet a thing of the past and sign up for faster internet today. Pioneer Communications, your community connected.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
Yeah, we had a few high clouds yesterday that rolled in. You can see some way off up there. As we look over the Sublette metropolitan area, you know what? Taking a look at the readings here at the station, 42 degrees. A lot warmer than that yesterday. Relative humidity is a lot higher today, though. 73%. Winds are out of the north at 7. Barometric pressure is on the rise. All right, let's take a look at the readings around the area. Everybody in the 40s and 50s. Well, Dodge City, you got a little catching up to do. You're only at 39. Perryton, Guyman, already up into the mid-50s. Elkhart. But believe it or not, this is kind of a midweek cool down for a Wednesday. Looking at the current dew points, everybody's got pretty good humidity today. A little drier down in Perryton and down in Guyman. But high fire danger, not as big a deal today, but that doesn't mean that you can just go out and burn something. Looking at the winds today, now they went around with this midweek cooling. Yesterday we had southerly winds, kept us pretty warm. Today everything is pretty much out of the northerly direction. Not real bad, but it's going to keep us kind of cooled down today. Yesterday, as looking at the readings at the Garden City Regional Airport, now we got 75. 78 was the record back in 2016. It was really nice yesterday morning when you walked out. 31, -4 back in 1962. Yeah, no precipitation. Here's what we got in store for today. We're going to have a high of 53. Winds are going to stay out of the north, gusting up maybe into the mid-20s. That's not too bad for the end of February. Tonight, going to cool off a little more than it did last night. 21 for the overnight low. Winds are still going to be into the mid-teens to mid-20s overnight. Then tomorrow, still going to be a little cool, but lots of sunshine again. 54. Winds are going to go from the northwest down around to the southeast, because you've got another warming trend coming this way. Tomorrow night, overnight low of 31. Lots of clear skies. You'll be able to see that big old moon like I saw it this morning. Winds are going to be out of the south-southeast. Those warm winds are going to come blowing back in. You're going to be gusting up into the mid-20s, because you can see as we go into the weekend, close to 70 on Friday. We're going to get to 70 on Saturday and Sunday. Back to more seasonable temperatures on Monday, but as you can see, there is no precipitation on that 7-day. All right, let's see where our good friends from the National Weather Service are going to be. Tonight, they're going to be in Ness City at the courthouse. Tomorrow, Waukene in the 4-H building. Then on March 5th, moving into next week, they'll be in Montezuma at the Senior Center. Then on March 6th at 7 o'clock, Ulysses at the Grant County Fairgrounds. And then March 7th, hey, you know what? They have 2 of them in Garden City, one at 3 o'clock and one at 7 o'clock. Those will both be at the Garden City Fairgrounds. All right, that's a look at the weather. Stick around after the break. I'll be back with JC.
College is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. That's Independence University. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate.
1-800-274-8142.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available, and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled, and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded, so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available, with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now, because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them.
Yes, they look like that, warmed over.
He's picking up the phone, probably calling his uncle to borrow money.
Thank you for calling Consolidated Credit.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time. Put down the phone. Put down the phone.
Order a pizza.
With extra red sauce. That Consolidated Credit makes it too quick and easy to get rid of us.
Thanks to Consolidated Credit, there can be life after that.
Call Consolidated Credit now and get your life back.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-357-5733. 800-357-5733. That's 800-357-5733. Call now.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
And welcome back. This is kind of a new one for me. I got my cattle expert here today. She is J.C. Winters. She is the Public Relations Manager, Cattle Empire of America. How are you today?
I am so great. How are you today, Chris?
I'm good. Thanks for coming by today. All right, now, Cattle Empire, it's just what it says. You guys are feed yards located in all of Haskell County. Is that right?
That is correct. So we are, something that a lot of people don't know, especially local folks, is that we're the largest family-owned and operated cattle feeder in the United States. And we're actually the 5th largest cattle feeder overall. And so something that makes us really unique is that all of our facilities are located so centrally in one location.
You're all in Haskell? It's all in Haskell County?
All in Haskell County.
I didn't know you were the biggest family-owned and the 5th in the country.
Correct.
They're a big deal, people. You didn't know it. And you were telling me you have like over 400 employees?
Yes, we have approximately 400 employees across all of our locations, and many of those live in Haskell County, but some people do commute from some of the other surrounding communities.
Yeah, because you get Garden City and Liberal and Ulysses and you name it. Sublette, Copeland, everywhere.
Yes.
Because they're not all, last time I checked, they don't all live in Sublette, do they?
No.
Or Satana. All right, so you guys have what, 5 locations in Haskell County?
Yes, so we have 5 total facilities, and between those we have approximately a capacity of 250,000 head of cattle.
That's a lot of hamburger.
It is.
A lot of steaks.
We're very proud of it. We're proud to provide the best protein that you can get in your diet right here in Southwest Kansas.
Okay, here she goes. You're going to go off on a beef tangent on me. Okay, but that's okay. I enjoy a good steak.
Oh, don't we all?
I enjoy a good hamburger, too. All right. So you guys now, with 250,000 head, 400 employees, you started, years ago, you told me you had a scholarship program?
Correct. So Cattle Empire's always been very community-oriented, something that we really care about, are making our local communities a good place to live. That helps the communities. It also helps our company by being able to, recruit good quality people to come live here and work here. So we make some investments in that area, and one of those areas is our scholarship program. So we've had some form or fashion of a scholarship program for some time now. It has evolved over the years, and so now we kind of have a slightly newer version of it coming out this year, where we're opening it up to all of the lower 11 Southwest Kansas counties, graduating students from all of those high schools, which you can find in the press release. If I try to recite off all of those counties, I might miss one, but we're offering...
I can do that.
Okay, you can list off those 11 counties for me.
Finney, Grant, Gray, Hamilton, Haskell, Kearney, Meade, Morton, Seward, Stanton, and Stevens. There you go, alphabetical order.
Thank you so much.
It's only off for a press release, though. Okay, so now This is kind of like with these 11 counties. This is Cattle Empire Scholarships version 2.0.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you out of all those counties, you're going to give away 5 total scholarships?
5 $1,000 scholarships, correct.
Okay. Now, one of the things, though, is you have to, or you would like them to be pursuing a career in the beef industry or agriculture, right?
Correct. That is going to be weighed in the consideration process. Basically, proximity to the beef industry, I would say. You're going to need to communicate at least some interest in the beef industry or agriculture in general. But, there's so many related fields nowadays to the beef industry. And so just because you don't want to be, maybe you don't want to work at a feed yard specifically, or maybe, maybe you're more interested in a business, agricultural business, or even public relations or some other related field. So just communicate that. But we do want you to have some interest in the beef industry or agriculture.
Okay, because you were talking, we were talking before we went on the air, because there are a lot of things, like you were in communications and you're in the agricultural world. You have IT people at Cattle Empire, you have HR people, you have safety people, you have, nutrition specialists. Correct. So there's a lot of things anymore that it's not just the guy who's out there or gal getting their boots dirty, is it?
Yes, and really that's something that we want people to consider and explore, in this evolving world of agriculture and all of these new and emerging jobs and technologies. Is we want students to be looking into that now and looking towards their futures, because that's where the jobs are going to be in the future, is in these new and emerging fields. And so explore some of those and see how you can fit your interests, to fit something that also benefits this area and the local economy.
It's ever changing.
It is.
Okay, so now this is due on April 13th, right?
Yes.
To you.
Yes, to me.
She is the lady. April 13th. Now you can go to cattle-empire.net and click on the little scholarships thing over on the right-hand side. You can go to Cattle Empire's Facebook page. There's a link there. Takes you right to the page. Tells you all the rules and regulations. Plus, you can download the application, right?
Correct. Yes, okay. And we have those pinned on the top of all of our social media feeds, so you shouldn't have to go digging for it. If you just get to our Facebook page, it'll be there. It'll be the first thing posted.
I know. That's what I saw it. That's where I got. You can get all of this right there, because you've got to be in one of those 11 counties, okay? And then you need to, in the application. Now the application isn't like 400 pages long, is it?
It's pretty. We're trying to keep it pretty simple. We want to know a little bit about you. We want to know kind of who's applying and be able to make a good decision on how to award those scholarships. But basically, we just ask for a little bit of information about yourself, some transcripts, a couple references, and then the big thing is the essay on an agricultural topic of your choice. So
1,000 words.
It's not that long, Chris. It's really not.
It's 1,000 words.
You just need to pick something you're interested in and
today's computer programs count the words for you.
That's true. Yes.
I remember when I was in school, you had to count them.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Math and English practice. Cross-curricular.
I'm telling you, there's no math or science. I would not do well on a Cattle Empire scholarship because there's no way. Okay, so then they just send these to you.
Correct, yes. Right, you can send them in the mail, you can scan and email them, you can fax them, you can drop them by the office. You can send a pigeon. We don't really care how.
Okay, just as long as you get them by the 13th.
By the 13th, yes.
And then 2 weeks later, on the 27th, you're going to announce the winners.
We will. We'll announce them.
Who's judging these?
Cattle Empire staff.
Okay, all right, so there you go.
I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus.
No.
Don't be making any phone calls.
Okay, so on the 27th, call me. You can throw anybody under the bus you want. So you want to learn about Cattle Empire Scholarship Program, all you got to do is go to cattle-empire.net, or you can go to their Facebook page, which is Cattle Empire. You can find the application there. You got any questions, you can call JC and say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Help me out.
Absolutely.
But this is for the 11 counties in southwest Kansas. You know what? Scholarships, it's a big deal. They're $1,000. You can't sneeze at that,
no,
right?
That's a big deal.
Yeah. All right. JC, thanks for coming by today.
Thank you so much for
That's
having
a
me.
neat deal, people. Get in on this. All right. And I'll be back with just a bit more right after this.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
You want to feel connected, at one with your world. Informed, included, and inspired. So no matter where you are, when important things happen, we're here at all hours, in the moment, on every screen in your life. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. We investigate and inform, give back to the community, build the local economy, even save lives. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. And unlike any other news source, we're here, 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 and here. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
And we're back. Dodge City Lady Demons are moving on to the playoffs. You know what? They beat the Topeka Trojans yesterday or last night, 43-34. They'll play the Derby Panthers at 7 o'clock on Friday in Derby. And Garden City Lady Buffs, they ended their season at 6-15. They lost to the Lady Salt Hawks in the Class A Substate last night in Hutchinson. All right, let's take a last look at our weather before we get out of here today. Yeah, 44 degrees right now. Humidity's kind of high, though. That's good. 72%. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 9. Barometric pressure is holding steady. You know what? No precipitation on the 7-day, although today and tomorrow are going to be the midweek cool down. Then we're going to climb back up to the 60s and 70s. Going into the weekend, back to normal temperatures on Monday. Go out and have a great day. See you next time.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
College is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. That's Independence University. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate.
1-800-274-8142.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful. That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded, so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And Consolidated consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
Portions of TV23's internet provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublette, this is